Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Mental Misstep. It's good to see everyone again.
Yes,
Yeah, sort of.
we survived.
Did we?
Well, you survived. You're the
I
one
did.
that went in Indianapolis.
It
I was here the whole time.
quite a long drive. 10 hours. 10 hours to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Turns out we got up there, realized that Macintosh drove up there as well, and we could have carpooled. But, communication issues.
I mean, are you two friends on Facebook?
We are, actually.
Hey, somebody wants a link to the live stream.
Hey, well, maybe we should give it to him.
I don't have the phone.
Alright, well, we'll just do it here.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Chrome works.
Here. Right. Here. Right.
Just go to Facebook.
Right? Okay. Facebook. So,
While we're doing that.
let's talk about how everything went in Indy.
Personal accounts first, or do we want to go over the whole thing? Messages? There you go. Whatever.
Where is the thing?
It's Mental Misstep Pod. So twitch.tv/MentalMisstepPod. So again, do you want to go over your personal account of Indianapolis first?
Sure, we can do that.
No underscore. How are you doing?
Rip.
Rip?
Alright,
You don't even know our own address.
there it is. Whatever. Alright, so, we got to Indy. We drove 10 hours through the night. It was pretty rough. We ended up getting there, early Friday morning, took a nap and decided to go to the center. On the tournament Saturday, after getting registered and all that. Registered, there we go.
Registrated.
Registered!
You know English good.
Yeah, very good, actually. Once we were registered, on Saturday, Jeremy did not have buys. I did, so I got to sleep in a little bit and kind of take my time throughout the day. Jeremy went, won his first match, lost his second match, lost his third match, kind of tilted a little bit. I mean, generally speaking, you lose two back-to-back at a GP like that, you're gonna kind of put yourself on tilt. And
Especially that early.
yeah, that early on in the day can kind of make it go, alright, well, I guess my GP experience is going to be over very quickly. I mean, to be honest, once you go 1-3, it's really hard to kind of climb out of that pit. And once you're 1-4, you're out of day 2.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked a little bit after round 3. Jeremy turned down food when I offered it to him, and he was like, wait a second, hold up, something's not right. So we kind of talked it out a little bit more. He was able to kind of grip it together and actually managed to win out the rest of the day. Ended up going 6-3 for day 1. So I started off very strong in the day. I ended up going 5-1 early on.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple of rough matchups, and then I punted a match really, really hard that kind of threw me on tilt. So I ended up 5-4.
Did not make day 2.
Did not make day 2. Really rough. It happens. It's magic. You have bad matchups. Sometimes you punt it. Sometimes you just get bad draws.
Rip.
So there's always next time for that. So moving into day 2, Jeremy won his first match out of the gate, making him 7-3. Then lost, and then lost again. So he was out.
But at least he day 2'd, and I mean, how many GPs has he been to? Like 2?
He's been to 2 GPs. So his second GP,
Not bad.
got day 2. Very, very proud of him. He did a very good job. He was very excited.
Yeah.
As he should be. Day 2 is no easy task.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have, that much experience with that big of an event.
Yeah, it's a completely different animal, GPs are.
Very long, very very grindy to go through, 9 rounds worth of matches. Because he actually had to play 9 rounds worth, whereas you only played 7 rounds worth.
I played 7 rounds, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's very different. And then to go again into it the next day being going like, okay, time to grind through more.
Yeah, and always having kind of like you listen to pro grinders and stuff like that, and pros that go to a lot of these tournaments, and you can only kind of take one match at a time, right? You can't win 2 matches in a row. You can only win 1 match at a time. Okay, it's a big kind of a big quote that a lot of people like to go by. And so even using that theory, like there's still that voice in your head that's going, okay, if you lose another one, you're out. Or if you win one more, you're good. If you win one more, you're good. And like sometimes that can kind of mess around a little bit in your head and go, all right, I'm overthinking things. I'm trying to be too cautious. I'm being too, whatever. And it can kind of tilt you without actually tilting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of very big variances that can happen at a big tournament like that, and like I said, he did a very good job, and I'm happy that he made day 2.
Yep.
So I dropped, obviously, I didn't make day 2, so I ended up doing some side events on Sunday. Got to play a couple of the new conspiracy drafts. That was a lot of fun. Let me tell you what. It was a blast doing the Take the Crown event. They even had little paper mache crowns that they made.
I like the whole idea of using a Burger King kids crown.
Yeah. So we actually talked about going to Burger King to get another crown. But,
Nice.
yeah, it was great. But they made little paper mache crowns, and it was great because every time someone became the monarch, we put it on our heads, and it was fantastic. I ended up winning both of the conspiracy drafts I played in. I tied. Me and the other person drew and split tickets evenly, and then my second draft I had a really bonkers draft pool.
Yeah.
I had 3 La Crosa. That's a 2/4 with vigilance and monstrosity. I had 3 silkweb spiders, or whatever they're called. Yeah, I think that's what they're called. And
Needless to say, you had the 3 copies of one creature and 3 copies of another creature.
And then I had 2 of the conspiracy. It's a green conspiracy. It says, at the beginning of your combat, you may reveal this hidden agenda. If you have the creature named with the hidden agenda, you can pay a green mana and put a 1/1 counter on it. So I had 1 naming the spider and 1 naming the La Crosa. So at the beginning of my combat, I could just spend unused mana and pump them up. On top of that, I also had Forgotten Ancient. It's a reprint. Forgotten Ancient says that anytime a player casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of counters from Forgotten Ancient onto any other creatures, distribute amongst however you want. So basically, I just created this token generation factory. Or not token generation, but
Counter generation.
Counter generation. And
Just, man, if I had hardened scales, too, God.
and I also had a conspiracy called Weight Advantage. Now, Weight Advantage says that creatures,
Salt formation.
creatures deal damage equal to their butts. So, because the Lacrosses are 2/4s, they automatically become 4/4s, and the spiders are 2/3s, and they automatically become 3/3s, plus all of the counters that they're getting. So by the end of the 4-man pod, all of my creatures were...
And your opponents hated you.
Yeah, all of my creatures were about 20/20, and I had a couple of the artifact that gives them flying as well. So I just strapped that onto my vigilance guys and was beating people in the face for 20 in the air. There's really little nothing. There was nothing they could do.
Okay, you're dead. Okay, you're dead.
Yeah.
Okay, you're dead.
So it came down to me and Wes. Actually, me and Wes were in the same pod, and it was funny because Wes had a Dragon Lair Spider, right? And it says every time your opponent casts a spell, you can put a 1/1 insect into play. So here I am making a bunch of big guys,
He's making
and he's making a large army every time our opponents cast spells. So it's great. It's great because like they play something and I'm like, all right, trigger. Wes is like trigger, and like they're just like, okay, we can't do anything right now.
Don't do anything.
It was hysterical.
Wait for us to turn on each other, which won't happen. Instead, we'll kill you guys and go, okay, let's go to the next round.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was.
That's dirty.
I cannot express how much I love Conspiracy. I've talked about it in the past. Old Conspiracy is by far my favorite draft set. New Conspiracy is a lot of fun as well. I might have to say, they come pretty close to each other. I think I might have to go with New Conspiracy.
I know what I'm going to have to watch out for when I draft against this guy now.
Yeah, so... Like,
so when he's just like, ooh, conspiracy card, I wonder which one he got.
Yeah, so basically,
If I start seeing the same creature past 3 packs, I better start taking one. Even if it's not my color.
My first draft was blue-white, Blue White Flyers. It was a lot of fun using the palace guys whenever at the end of your turn if you're a monarch it gets a 1/1 counter. And I got the guy that pairs with them, so they both have lifelink and +1/+1 counters. So it's really cool. And then I also got the conspiracy that whenever they attack, I can give it indestructible. So I was just getting life with my lifelinkers, and they can't kill them. So it was a lot of fun. And then
I just really want to get the conspiracy to where it says you play with no basic lands.
Yeah,
I want to try that one out so bad.
That conspiracy got played a lot this weekend, actually. It got opened up. And the players who opened it got to kind of value draft, right? They got to play whatever they wanted. They got to play really good cards. And it worked out very well for them. And I don't really... I think the card is okay. But I don't think that it is...
it's not going to be the winner.
Yeah, it's not. You're not automatically going to be the winner. I saw a lot of people get hated out because of that card. Because if people see that conspiracy at the start of the game, they're going to be like, oh, this guy has nothing but powerful cards in his deck, right?
Kill that guy first.
Kill him. Exactly. So, and what I always love about conspiracy, it kind of takes a commander-esque playstyle is everyone's being so political, right? Everyone's like, alright, do you want to team up, or I'll betray you, or I'll betray this person if you'll join me now that you have a bigger board state, and this person's getting out of hand, we need to work together to take them out. And it's really entertaining to kind of see that in a non-commander
Luckily, I have plenty of experience playing kitchen tabletop multiplayer free-for-alls.
Politics definitely come into it very heavily.
This is why I always... Like, look, I have the cleric deck. I'm not going to do anything. If you try to do anything to me, it's just going to get prevented.
Right, exactly.
And then I come out on top because I'm the only one alive. And all of a sudden I'm swinging at you with this giant vile deacon. Or I've got Glare Caster out. Go ahead, hit me in the face.
Sure.
Pay 6, reflect.
I really...
Deflecting palm on a stick is awesome.
Deflecting bomb on a stick is pretty great. So I really enjoy that, how everyone was able to have fun at Indy because of this conspiracy event. There were...
I want my boxes now.
There were over 50 draft pods a day of conspiracy.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, that's actually really crazy. Because we started out Sunday in the first conspiracy draft. Me and Wes did. By the time we were done with conspiracy draft 1, they were announcing conspiracy draft 25. By the time pod 1 was done,
wow,
25 was firing. So that just that kind of idea of how many pods were firing of conspiracy back to back to back to back to back was
bonkers,
crazy. And that's with main event going on. SSS, the Super Sunday Spectacular.
Yep.
It was a sealed event. John McIntosh played in that. Got 13th, I believe.
Yeah, I know he does. He's done pretty well in the Sunday series.
Yeah, well, he does very well in sealed events in general.
Yeah, he does.
McIntosh is a very good sealed player. Very big props out and big shout out to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great. So there's the SSS going. Mm-hmm. There were the Modern Challenge. Mm-hmm. For the Dropout Modern Challenge. There's a Dropout Standard Challenge.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a legacy thing going on, or other side events that weren't conspiracy.
Yeah, there were other drafts. There were EDM drafts. There were stuff like that, and all of these other events that had people in them, and conspiracy was still firing off.
Because everybody wanted those sweet Serum Visions and Inquisition reprints.
Right, and that's another thing. Serum Vision prices have tanked. I think Serum Visions are like at 50 cents now.
I am fine with this. I am fine with this.
I think
this is what Modern needs. They need this random product that has no effect on Standard.
Yeah.
And they could just freely reprint Modern staples.
And I think they did a really good job with this, right? Conspiracy did a really good job with reprints.
As much as people want to bitch about flavor of Inquisition of Kozilek being in this conspiracy draft, I don't care.
I mean, yeah,
you have tanking the price of that card because it got printed once.
Yeah, so you had Inquisition of Kozilek, that got reprinted. Serum Visions got reprinted. Show and Tell got reprinted.
Yeah, Legacy stuff got printed too. That was another good. Burgeoning, Berserk.
Yeah, So
Sure,
a lot of really powerful cards.
Let's give Magic back to the people.
Yeah, I think Conspiracy, the Wizards deciding to reprint a bunch of these cards in Conspiracy was a very, very good idea. They did a very good job with it. Mm-hmm. They executed it fairly well. They made the set fun to draft. Like
it's a lot better way to reprint stuff than the Masters sets.
I agree. See, I don't really enjoy drafting Eternal Masters or Modern Masters or anything like that. Sure, it's somewhat entertaining, but like you still have those like major archetypes that just win, right? In Conspiracy,
nobody knows what the fuck they're doing.
Like no one knows what's going on. Depending on like which conspiracies are in the draft or what's not in the draft, definitely affects things. Now there are definitely some archetypes that lean or favor, right? White anything is pretty good. White is very powerful in Conspiracy. So if you're looking at doing some Conspiracy drafts in the near future, I highly recommend looking at White. See if White is an open color. And more often than not, White is an open color, which is very surprising, just how powerful it is in the set. A lot of people are just not prone to
it. It has the Chalice of the Void on a stick.
Yeah.
How do you... And then, what was that? That tutors up any 2-drop?
Yeah. It's insane.
How do you let that go?
It's insanely bonkers. The set is.
I'm confused now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Black is also very popular for obvious reasons. Has a lot of removal in it.
I mean, that's generally why you go white or black, is for just straight up like get rid of that. Red is kind of conditional, where it says, "Oh, you have things. I don't care. I'm gonna hit you in the face."
Red-green monsters is definitely a thing in Conspiracy.
I'm good behind that.
There's a lion or a beast elemental or whatever that says whenever you draft it, depending on what number it is, depends on how big its power toughness is. Whenever you play it, so like if you pick it as like draft number or pick 9, it's a 9/9 for 5 mana.
So don't pick one
with menace. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of just whenever this thing is picked, like Garbage Fire, very powerful because Garbage Fire goes off of the highest Garbage Fire you've picked. So if you pick a Garbage Fire at like 7 and then pick 3 more Garbage Fires, it doesn't matter what number they are. It'll go all of your Garbage Fires will be 7 from that point on.
I just love that it's Garbage Fire. This card is a dumpster fire. Literally. Dumpster fire.
So, a lot of very powerful cards in Conspiracy. I don't think any color got shafted. I think
that's amazing.
Yeah, all colors are powerful in Conspiracy. Obviously, there are going to be more colors that people lean to more, right? Yeah. But
Boros seems really tempting for me.
Boros is powerful. Red is
especially
very
if you
strong.
Get that legendary.
White is very strong. Yeah.
Especially if you get that legendary. It says, "Oh, by the way, all your dudes have what's it called? Melee."
Yeah, melee is very powerful.
Like here, let me just spew out tokens and swing out in all directions, because that way they're all getting +3/+3. Sounds good.
I agree. Wes actually had that in one of his drafts.
Like I think that definitely fits my playstyle. Like here, I'm just gonna aggro the whole board. I don't care. Let's go. Just swing sideways with tokens.
I think if I had to pick a weak color in the entire set, I would have to say blue is technically the weakest. But I mean, blue has a lot of flyers, has a lot of magic.
It generally has like a lot of evasion and of course counter magic's always a thing.
So blue is technically the weakest color, but I would not classify it as weak at all. There's still a lot of power that can come from it, a lot of reoccursion. And just a lot of synergy with other archetypes and other colors that just make blue a very
blue does seem to kind of suffer sometimes, though I will say in multiplayer formats just anyway, because like if you have counter magic, you have to decide and go, okay, this definitely screws me over, but does it screw that guy over more?
Yeah, and and you have to be very political about counter magic in multiplayer games too.
Yeah, if you specifically hate on one player, that guy's all of a sudden gunning for you all day.
That guy is going to straight up murder you.
And then anybody he's allied with is going to murder you as well.
Exactly. So, blue has to be very careful on how they
blue has always been a political color. It just gets worse with the number of players that go up.
Exactly. So, all in all, Conspiracy is a fantastic set. I always love Conspiracy drafts. No matter Conspiracy 1, Conspiracy 2 now, I'm loving it. I think Conspiracy 2 is going to take over the spot of my favorite draft set. It's just a ton of fun.
Buy all the boxes now.
I never lose Conspiracy drafts.
We'll find that out.
Right.
We'll find
Now that I
out.
said that, I'm probably going to get hated out in our pod.
Probably.
Just going to be like, fuck you, Will. Be like, alright, guys.
That, and if it's Friday, I'd be like, hey, I'm playing the birthday card. If I lose, fuck you. You're making me lose on my birthday.
Hey, look, man, it's all of our birthdays in September, okay?
I'm just saying, if we play Friday.
It's yours, mine, Chris's. Everyone's birthday is...
I know,
all of Team Mental Misstep has a birthday in September, pretty much.
Pretty close.
Yeah. It's
At
pretty,
least, like, it's like a good third of our local play group.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Evidently, all our parents decided to fuck in January.
Or December. December.
One of the two.
Well, it's 9-month period, right? So,
Yeah.
like, if they do December, then it's January. Or, not, it's September.
December then January. Okay.
Yeah, December then January.
Or January. Whatever.
But, so go out, buy conspiracy boxes, draft them with your friends, go to your LGS, draft them at your LGS, play this set.
Draft them at your kitchen table. Because then you could actually probably fight.
Yeah, like
You
actually-
mother...
like yeah, just
That's probably what'll happen.
Probably.
Like, if Will wins, I might deck him in the face.
there's a good chance. There's a good chance.
At least all the cards will be mine.
Yeah, just look on the bright side. So someone actually passed a show and tell to Wes.
Money!
Yeah, it was great. After the draft, they were all talking about like, yeah, it'd be awesome if like we got a show and tell. And the person who passed it to him was like, yeah, that's mainly the only reason I'm playing Conspiracy is to get a show and tell for money. And Wes is like, you do realize you passed me this, right? And he was like, oh my gosh, I just read the effect and wasn't paying attention to what the actual card was. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Because I was in the same pod as him. I was like, why couldn't I be sitting next to the guy to pass a show and tell? But show and tells have gone down in value. They're like $25 now, $30.
Oh no, they're only 2025.
Right, but it's still an amazing card, still a legacy staple.
But again, this is what we need. Staples to go down in price.
Yeah. You know, when you take a $60, $70 card and make it $20, that's fantastic.
Alright, okay, now for these lands that are like in the thousands.
Good luck with that. Yeah, probably not. That's probably not going to happen at all, ever. So.
That's okay, I'm not playing that deck.
Alright, so let's kind of talk about what actually won at GP Indy.
And all of the
other
other two
GPs.
GPs.
There were 3 GPs going on this weekend, guys. That's a lot of magic.
Yeah.
Magicals.
Magical slide.
So, GP Indy, Nia Byrne took first place at Indy.
Yes.
Very interesting deck. Ran Wild Nichols?
So it was almost like Nia Byrne Zoo.
Right.
Like, I don't know how 4 more creatures made it a zoo deck, but, like, if you look at a zoo core, you're like Swift Spear, Goblin Guide, Nakatl. Okay.
Well, that was Nia Byrne.
That's it. That's all the value 1-drops right there.
Sure.
Or at least most of them, anyway.
And so I kind of like this, right? So Nia Byrne really hasn't played anything green except for Target's Command, right?
Yeah.
And I guess
Destructive
Revelry
Revelry in
in
the
the
board.
sideboard,
Yeah.
right? But it's not really that impactful main board.
Mm-hmm.
So really, only thing Nia Byrne's got going for it is the Target Command main board. And honestly, if I'm against you and you have an Target's Command and a Sacred Foundry, or a Stomping Ground and a Sacred Foundry, I'm gonna take the Sacred Foundry, right? I'm gonna remove you from white. I don't care if you have an Target's Command. So you have another Skullcrack. Congratulations.
I mean, it's kind of important if you're playing against Soul Sister.
Right.
But who plays that deck?
No one plays that deck. Come on, let's be honest here.
Although, I guess it's kind of important if Game 2 against Nature's Claim. Maybe? I don't know. Nitty gritty here.
Yeah. So I like the option of maybe going a little bit more green, right? Kind of giving a reason behind playing so much green.
Yeah, and I mean, I was looking at the cards that it pulled out, and it was like, what? Molten Rain? Shard Volley?
Yeah, and those are already mediocre cards at best. So
And I mean, the thing is you have to look at it this way. If you look at damage potential, it's like, yes, a Shard Volley is a definite 3 damage, period.
sure.
While Nakatl, though, it has a variant damage output.
Right.
But
reoccurring damage.
That's the huge thing. A creature always beats out a burn spell, assuming the creature lives.
Yeah.
that's the key thing here.
I also like them removing Molten Rain, right? So Molten Rain, let's be honest here, the only thing that's really going to come in against is Tron. And Burn's matchup against Tron already is huge.
I mean, you're so stupid fast.
Yeah, Tron
really, you just have to worry about the Nature's Claim buying them an extra turn.
Yeah, for a Thrag Tusk or etc. Right? So, really, you don't really need the Molten Rain. So I think making those simple cuts, getting rid of a Shard Ball, like getting rid of Molten Rain to run Wild Nacatls, increases your damage output potential and makes it so you can just be a scary monster. I believe he did 9 damage on turn 2.
That was something ridiculous. Like, Jeremy actually played the guy that won.
Yeah, Jeremy played him in like round 5, I believe it was.
Something like that.
Something like that. Obviously, Jeremy was playing Tron, so he did not beat the guy. Burn is just an abysmal matchup.
Imagine was it round 2?
No, Jeremy. Oh yeah, no, Jeremy lost round 2. Yeah. It might.
Like, it was really early in the day. I thought
it was round 2 or round 5. It was somewhere. One of those.
Somewhere early in the day.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it was a very, very
go
fast
Nacatl.
deck.
Okay, turn 2, swing with Nacatl, a Tarkus command, eat 3 and 4 from the Nacatl.
Yeah.
That's 7 damage. Ow.
Yeah. It's pretty rough.
Rip.
Or like lightning bolt, take 9 damage, get wrecked.
Yeah.
Or lava spike, lightning bolt. Like so many options to just deal so much damage.
Oh no. No, he didn't.
I don't remember trying to appeal a head judge.
Appeal to the head judge.
During a ruling?
Did you have a ruling? Or was there?
So
Was there a judge call during your conspiracy draft?
yeah, so there was a lot of interesting mechanics going on during our conspiracy draft.
Like, this is the one thing that like I find weird about conspiracy. I feel like you have to like each player has to have pen and paper.
Right, yeah,
During
you
the
do.
draft, just to keep track of like, okay, I drafted this card along with this card with this card, this card
And
with this
that's
card.
and that's what you're supposed to do. And the funny thing is so we're at a GP, right? Conspiracy draft is, I guess we're rewinding here a little bit, and we're going to talk about conspiracy again. So conspiracy drafts are a casual format. Casual, not regular, not competitive, not pro level, casual. So whenever you have serious judge calls at a casual level, you're just like, what's going on?
The judge probably goes, okay, I have to give a ruling, but realize the time I'm taking to answer this nets you maybe a pack worth of prize.
But if that pack's important.
I have to be right all of the time.
Basically.
Yeah, some people do get way too serious about this, but again, there comes a point in time where you just have to realize it's like, is it worth me taking my time, ruining everybody else's time at this table, and ruining that guy's time over there, just to prove I'm right?
Yeah, basically. But I mean, we're Magic players, so we have to be right.
And then you be wrong in the process?
Yeah.
What if you end up being wrong? Don't you feel like a jackass?
So I think I think I know what Wes is talking about. So there was a moment whenever the game our pod was starting to wrap up. Okay, when me and us were in the same game with my giant army and his giant army.
Giant
So-
army.
Yeah. So
Thought I cleared that.
the lady on my left, across the table from Wes, she was playing black white, and she was doing really well. Just sadly, her deck was very stagnant, where mine and Wes's board state were progressing very quickly because of the conspiracies we had and all of that.
Things escalated.
But in the beginning, she was terrifying. All of her creatures, she had 2 of the throne guys that got 1/1 counters for being Monarch. She had it paired with the guy, so they got 1/1 on lifelink. She had the conspiracy that gave them indestructible, like I was talking about earlier. Like, she was set up.
Rip.
and she was just starting to swing her guys into all of us. And we were just like, okay, this is going to be a fun game. So there was a point where she had a Driver of the Dead out, and she had a Griffin out. And like I said, this is getting to the end of our game, so Wes swung all out with his squad to kind of thin out her ward. She blocked with Driver of the Dead and her Griffin and a couple of other creatures. The ruling was, the question was, can Driver of the Dead target a creature that died on the battlefield with it because they all died at the same time? So, initial response to this, in a lot of judge situations, there generally has to be a target in the graveyard already for the trigger. But the way Driver of Dead is worded makes it so it is allowed to target a creature that dies with it, because it doesn't have to already be in the graveyard. It's really weird.
I think it says when it dies, does it not?
Yeah, it says when it dies.
So, I mean, that isn't... So, the legality of that would be the Driver of the Dead has to experience the zone change.
Sure.
And then anything out, then it would check and be like, okay, I've moved zones. What's all in this zone?
Exactly.
So that's the reason why I can do that. Some of the other things, it's like, here, let me pay an activation cost. Like, sacrifice, Corpse Hauler or something like that?
Yeah.
It has, like, a Gravedigger effect, but it sacrifices. So that time, you would have to have a target just to put the ability on the stack. But since this is a zone change, it's a trigger, not an activated.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why you can do that.
So, we called a judge over, and the judge was like, my initial reaction is actually, no, you can't do that, right? So he was actually siding with me where I was coming from, because that's, my initial thought process was like, okay, this. And he's like, okay, well, let me look it up. And I ended up pulling out my phone, because it's casual REO, and looking it up faster than the judge, and I just go, all right. Me and you are wrong. She can do that.
Rip.
So, I ended up correcting myself, and the judge made sure everything was okay and stuff like that. So, it ended up working itself out. But I think that's the situation Wes is talking about. I'm not quite sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know fully exactly what you're talking about, if that's not the case. So, kind of going back to main events.
Yeah.
So
burn one with Nakaddles.
Yeah. Very, like I
So
said,
this is going to be a thing now.
very spicy list. I think
Find another thing to bolt or path.
I think that Wild Nakaddle is a good call, right? I think that...
Oh, yeah.
My experience with it in the Suicide decks and all of that, it's a powerful card. It adds a bunch of damage onto the clock very quickly without you being able to respond to it.
Yeah.
You go turn 1 Wild Nakaddle, turn 2 Goblin Guide, Lightning Bolt. I mean, that's a lot of damage coming in, right? That's 8 damage. Yeah, they get a land trigger, but I mean, you're still generating creature threats on the board.
Yeah. Playing right in that Supreme Verdict. I mean, wait, what?
Yeah.
Fire Spout, Whiplash. I don't know.
All of these. Put board wipe here. Anger of the Gods.
Insert I hate dudes.
Yeah. So, but very well, I think top 8 also at Indy had...
2 breaches, from what I remember. 2 affinity decks. Agent.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what was the random outlier for that one.
Was it the Nightfall or no?
No, what was that?
Guangzhou. Okay.
That had the Nightfall.
And we'll talk about that real quick as well.
That one had the Asia event was the one that had like probably the most varied.
Sure.
The sheer fact that this one had 2 breach decks, 2 affinity decks. Burn. I want to say there was a Suicide in the top 8.
Yeah.
One more.
It's a powerful deck.
I'm just surprised at how consistent the deck has gotten, and maybe, I don't know why. Well, I can theorize why. But the Mishra's Bauble, from what we're missing out of that deck, is what increases the consistency of the deck.
And so Mishra's Bauble
It's
was
just
in the
'cause-
original list. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it's just for the extra card draw.
Yeah, it's an extra card draw. You kind of get to see what your opponent's drawing as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of lets you kind of set up.
It's another get probe.
Yeah, you're getting to set up, right? So if you get probe Mishra's Bauble, you know what's in their hand, you know what they're about to draw, so you know you can safely play your Death Shadow, right? So
Or go all in if you need
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
If you need to go in for lethal, like they've got nothing.
exactly. So Mishra's Bauble is 0, so it doesn't hurt you to play it.
That's a trigger for Monastery
Yeah.
Swift Spear.
It's another trigger for Swift Spear. It's another cantrip. You get knowledge out of it. So really, there's nothing bad about playing the card.
Yeah.
It was in the original list. I opted away from it, but I'm looking at maybe going back to it. So, Indy, very fantastic. Congratulations to the Naya player. I'm very happy to see kind of a diverse list of the just the typical normal burn, right? So moving on to Guangzhou in China.
Yeah, China.
That
was run by Grixis Delver.
Yeah.
Delver won that one. There was a burn in the top 8. A Nightfall deck in the top 8.
Batman T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Batman. I'm sorry. Anyways, there was a burn. Goryo's Vengeance. Jund.
That's a deck we haven't seen a lot of recently. Is
Yeah.
Goryo's Vengeance.
Yeah. Trying to remember off the top of my head again. Was Blue White controlling that one? No, that was Leo.
Yeah. Was Infect in that one?
There.
Yeah.
Infect was in the top 8 of that one. Yes. Infect won Leo. I can't remember.
Sure.
But like that one was probably the most varied. I don't think there was
any duplicates.
Yeah, there were no duplicates in that top 8.
I know that.
And then Leo, Infect won that one. There was a Breach in there.
There was
Blue White Control.
And Nightfall.
Nightfall was just in the one.
The
Asia.
So Guangzhou.
Yeah, it was in that one. It got 4th in that one. 3rd, 4th.
Still a good deck.
God, what else? There was a burn in all 3 top 8s.
So
Hate Bears. That was the other thing that was in Indy.
Or Indy.
Yeah, Indy and Leo both had a green-white Hate Bears.
Yeah, and their list was pretty close to one of our buddies who's actually at Indy as well. He was really excited. He was like, "Yes,
I could get there, maybe." So I know like Craig Wesco is definitely happy with Hate Bears because that's like his favorite archetype in Modern, I think.
Yeah.
So I've seen so many brews for black-white Hate Bears, green-white Hate Bears, blue-white Hate Bears.
I've even seen red-white Hate Bears in Modern.
And mono-white Hate Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
red.
I hate you.
Red-white Hate Bears is more of a vintage thing, but it's also starting to kind of come out into other formats like Modern. So I think that Hate Bears in general is very powerful, right? So you have access to new Thalia, and she does impact the board state a lot in Modern because you're relying on fetch lands and shock lands. So the problem is like fetch land, you're basically time walking them if they play a fetch land, because their fetch land comes into play tapped. They can't do anything with it.
And then whatever they do,
You fetch it, then that land comes into play tapped as well.
Unless it's a basic, but odds are they're fetching for a duel.
Yeah, most of the time. And the funny thing about it is even with shock lands, how it has the condition of it comes into play tapped unless you pay 2 mana, or 2 life. Even if you pay 2 life to have the shock come into play untapped, Thalia still triggers and taps it. So there were times this weekend where I saw people go, "Sure, I'll pay 2 life for my shock land so it doesn't get tapped." Oh, actually it's still tapped because Thalia is an asshole. So
And then you play old Thalia and you're just like, and you're gonna play that burn spell for 2.
yeah.
Or that path for 2. Seems great.
And then of course always the Leonin Arbiters,
you're gonna fetch no.
locking them out of their lands, right? Then Ghost Quartering. It's just it's abysmal if they get a perfect setup.
And again, it's funny like with the blue-white Hate Bears, because they just run Spell Queller too. Oh, you were gonna go Collected Company? No.
No. I'm sorry, you don't get to play Magic.
Oh, you're gonna Kiki Core or not instead Kiki Core or Abzan Evolution. Oh, you're gonna evolve? No.
Yeah. And that's another
Rip. That seems even worse. I just realized that. Wow.
Yeah.
Sacrifice a creature. Cool. You killed it for me. Thanks.
Yeah, you can sacrifice a creature. You gonna pay 2 mana to go look through your library? No? Okay, great.
I'm just saying with the Spell Queller on the evolution. Oh, you sacked your dude? Great. Now the spell's gone. Bye. You want to cast it again?
Alright, go ahead, second creature.
Rip.
Go for it. So, I kind of want to give a shout out to Wes here, right? So, Wes is brewing a couple of spicy decks that we got to play around with a little bit while we were in Indy.
I heard an Esper.
Yes. So
I heard that one.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what was in it. I just heard Esper.
Yeah.
And you were like, ooh.
I was like, I like Esper lists. So he's working on. I don't know if he wants me to spoil too much of it, but he's working on the basically a processing list for Esper Modern. And this list is a lot of fun. I fell in love with it over the weekend. I'm not going to lie.
Does it run like the stupid combo of Spell Queller and Wasteland Strangler?
Yes.
With Displacer?
With Ashiox.
That too.
Yeah. Fantastic, dude. One of my favorite planeswalkers.
Yes. Yeah, exile those things. Oh, I can only get the creatures out of it? That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Let's play this Wasteland Strangler and -5 that one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start processing everything now. It's great. Yeah.
Rip.
So,
Rip.
And then it runs Spell Quellers, obviously. It runs...
Just the Displacers, Wasteland Strangler, Spell Queller.
It runs...
stupid.
It runs Delay.
Why?
Because it exiles it for 3 turns, and then you can process it so it's a counterspell. 1 blue, 1 colorless, counter it, put 3 time counters on it. So you have 3 turns to process it.
Seems great.
Yeah.
If you're going against Burn, I mean, you just put in that one where you gain 5 life. Sure. Sounds good.
So
sounds really bad.
Yeah, it's so much fun to play. It's trolling.
All of a sudden, the Exile Zone is an interactive zone.
Yeah. So it's...
Normally, it's just, get it out of here. It's gone.
It's so trolly, right? It's so trolly. It's so much fun. It's interactive. You pretty much have something to do the entire time you're playing the match. And it's pretty successful. Like, we played it against Merfolk, we played it against Tron, and we played it against a kind of a Bant list he was working on as well. And it did really well. It did very well, actually.
Wow.
So this list might be something I might try to adapt. And I know Wes has been working on it really hard, and we've kind of been talking about it a little bit, especially on the car ride back. I'm really excited to kind of see where this deck goes.
This is terrifying.
I haven't been this excited about a deck since Whip and Nene. If that gives you any idea on how excited this deck is.
I mean, granted, I'm excited about my own deck, so we'll see where that one goes.
Oh yeah.
I want my turn 1 kills.
Those turn 1 kills are going to be pretty spicy.
I want them. I don't care about game 2. I'm wondering if I should just go, oh, you won the die roll? I concede? Okay, I'll be on the play for game 2.
I mean, that seems a little bad, right? It seems a little bad.
Alternatively, I could see, I took game 1, I could see game 2. Let's be on the play again.
Again, this seems very, very bad. I feel like you should try to play out the match.
This is why I'm going to sideboard in all the hand hate. That way I can go, okay, let's get rid of the fast mana.
Sure.
And let's bring in 4 Inquisitions, 4 Thoughtseize. Let's go. You're not going to have a hand, and I'm still going to try and combo out turn 2. Sounds good. I'm a terrible Magic player. I don't care. I love drinking.
So, basically, when it comes down to it all, there's hopefully a lot of fun, interactive fun decks that we're going to be playing in the near future. Jank is always our specialty.
Mine more so, because, I am more of a fan of Jank. When I shout out an idea, our friend Andy gets excited, and then he just cringes.
Basically.
That's how I know the deck is good.
No, that's actually the opposite. When I cringe, you should know that it's not good.
And then I turn out being right, that it is good.
I mean...
And again, I'm the guy that goes, hey, we should try this card. Why? That's a bad card. 2 weeks later, man, we should really try that card you mentioned. Seems really good.
It's alright, though. It's okay.
Like, not forgotten in our Jessica Walker's deck. This card seems really bad. But this card does everything that we have problems with in our current deck.
Hey, that's accurate, actually. Yeah.
Jeremy the other day. I kind of wish I had something like Chromatic Star for Standard Jun. What about Terrarium? What does it do? I don't know. Let me look it up exactly. It's like Chromatic Star, except you have to pay 2. And you get 2 mana instead of 1 and 1.
Yeah, it's like basically a standard chromatic star.
And you're just like, this is amazing. I must try this now.
So now...
How do you know this is a card? I didn't even know that was a card.
It's bad.
Because it's an Eldritch Moon common?
Yeah, so like, so many good cards came out of Eldritch Moon, both for standard and modern. I'm so excited on how much this set has changed standard and modern. It has dramatically affected both formats, and it's even seen a little bit of play in Legacy. Not much, but
it's kind of hard to, like, with the number of cards that enter the pool for a specific format.
Sure.
For one of them to make even a drop in the giant pool, or, in case of Legacy, the ocean of cards.
Right.
It's going to take a lot to do that, to make any kind of noticeable effect.
I agree.
So I mean, the last card we knew of that made a noticeable effect in Legacy is banned now. Actually, both of them are banned.
Yeah, Dig Through Time and
Treasure
Cruise, yeah.
You know why? Because they're busted.
And they're restricted vintage.
When burn splashes blue for a draw spell.
Whenever a standard card at the time is restricted in vintage, you know it is busted.
We're looking at you, Jace.
I'm talking about Dig Through Time.
I know, I'm just saying. I mean, like, Jace the Mind Sculptor was, like, banned right out of the gate, it seemed like, too.
Yeah, it was banned in standard.
I thought it was legal in standard. But it was banned in, like, modern, like, immediately.
Well, it was the last little bit of standard. That's when it got banned. Yeah. But
ridiculous.
Still, yeah, like, there's a lot of Wizards goes, oh, crap, guys.
We didn't think about this very hard.
We don't actually pay attention to other formats. We're bad at Magic. Yes, Wizards. Yes, you are very bad at Magic.
Well, you gotta realize they're also thinking, like, 3 sets ahead, so they're already looking at what the new standard will be when everything we have is rotated out.
Yeah, but I think that they should still have people that just sit there in an office all day and go, what broken combo can I make with this card?
Wizards, whenever you look to expand, look for janky guys like me.
Yeah, just go, hey, Mike, figure out a good card, or figure out a good combo with this card.
You see this card? Break it.
Alright, done.
That's all they need to do is just go, come up with the best/worst combo you could come up with.
Then we'll know if it's a good card that we can print or not.
We may have to adjust the power level on it.
Yeah, we might have to, like, not...
Or they go, well, I guess that's a conspiracy card.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes
we'll print this for Commander players.
Yeah, so, like, it's great, because if Wizards is afraid about printing powerful cards, you can easily throw it in a conspiracy set, right? So, it's not going to be legal in Modern. Conspiracy is not legal in Modern. Mm-hmm. Conspiracy is not legal in Standard. And then all you have to do is worry about Legacy and Vintage. And Mark Rosewater has already come out at the moment and said that Legacy and Vintage are taking a back burner at the time. For the time being.
You know what I would like to see? What if we saw the love child of a conspiracy and unglued?
Yes.
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 Mark Rosewater?
Do it.
Unconspiracy.
Yeah, Mark Rosewater, I know you're watching this, because why wouldn't you? Do it.
Unconspiracy.
Unconspiracy?
Unconspiracy.
That sounds terrifying, actually. That set...
Like, what is the opposite of conspiracy?
Probably makes me cringe a little bit. But
as you draft this card, shout its name at the top of your lungs.
Yeah, I do...
If you don't, you get no more draft picks for the rest of the round.
I do want to state, though, I was the best queen at the conspiracy drafts. Because...
You are a queen.
I am. Because King Bronco's dead. So... Queen Martrasa took over the throne.
If I become the monarch, I will have to be the Venture Brothers monarch.
The Monarch!
The monarch!
I support this. I support this. And you just have to talk in that voice the entire time.
I need to print out that token I saw that was of the monarch.
So, guys, make sure to tune in. I agree, Will is a queen. Thanks! I'm the best queen.
Are you a dancing queen?
No.
Oh,
Sad face.
rip.
So, I think we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we'll go ahead and kind of go over it again. There's a good chance that Friday, possibly, maybe Thursday night. We're not quite sure yet.
I will have my boxes tomorrow. It's just a matter of finding a total of 6 more people to draft with. And then figuring out a setup to where we can showcase off our draft.
So, we might not record the actual draft itself because it'll be kind of hard to kind of see what everyone's drafting.
Yeah, but we could definitely show a 4-player free for all.
Yeah, and we will definitely like you just said, we'll be streaming at least one of the pods, and that way you guys can kind of see how fun this set is, how interactive this set is, and hopefully get to see us look like just a bunch of
tools.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that one. But it's a lot of fun. I encourage, like I said earlier in the stream, I encourage everyone to try out the conspiracy set. And I know Jeremy is super, super hyped about Magic again after this weekend. Jeremy's like, yeah, I'm ready to start playing Magic again.
I got the itch.
Yeah, he's claiming he has the itch. He's been asking us every day if we want to play Magic.
I know it was really bad. He was like, guys, you guys want to play any Magic?
You guys
after I get to class?
You guys got the Magic cards? Oh my gosh.
You guys want to play Magic after I get out of class?
So there's a good chance that we're going to be traveling a lot more than in the near future. It's been our plan to be traveling a lot more recently anyways, but with Jeremy hyped again, and some of our other members that we don't really get to talk about much.
Other members, a.k.a. Austin and Chris.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
So whenever...
You say it like you speak vaguely like we have a rank and file of 15 players.
Hey.
We have a very, very deep and robust roster.
Very thorough list. We will be able to travel a lot more. Hopefully they'll be able to join us. We can kind of get some big team events that we can get going on. And
if only we could go to that Team Unified Modern.
When is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's one of the GPs next year.
Right. One of the many, many GPs. There's talk about us trying to go to Super Vegas. There's talk about it.
There's talk, as in Lyle mandated we have to go.
So, we might end up in Super Vegas next year, guys. That is going to be a very, very fun GP. It's going to be 3 GPs in one.
I will be terrified.
Standard, Modern, and Legacy GP.
I will be terrified. You know why? Because Lyle will be involved.
Yeah. And it's Vegas. Oh, God.
Lyle in Vegas.
Lyle in Vegas is terrifying.
Rip. Heidi, save us.
Heidi, please save us. So that kind of gives us the wrap up of everything that is going on.
Yep.
Indy was a fantastic trip. Me and Jeremy ended up taking back roads through Kentucky all the way back home. Only used one tank. We only had to fill up our tank of gas one time on the way from Indianapolis to Winston-Salem. It was kind of crazy, actually, considering we filled up 3 times on the way up.
So, I don't want to know how that math works.
Yeah, I don't know what about Kentucky.
Did you stop somewhere in Kentucky and just filled up your car with moonshine?
I'm guessing that might have happened, right?
Biofuel!
So, apparently, we drove 150 miles where the speed limit was just 55 miles an hour. So, I managed to get like 39 miles to the gallon in a Kia Soul. So that might have had something to do with it, but just the sheer fact that we got that far on 2 tanks of gas, basically, is just ridiculous.
Nuts.
Yeah. Basically, hashtag Kentucky Backroads.
Yeah, but don't listen to John's story about trying to drive from Montreal back. and taking Pennsylvania back roads, because evidently that was terrible from what I heard.
That sounds terrifying. Pennsylvania back roads are already terrifying.
So yeah. Let's get that trending. Save us, Heidi.
Say hashtag save us, Heidi. I like that hashtag very much so. Hashtag.
I could get behind that trending campaign.
I think we can. Yeah, we need to make this.
All right, we're done. We're going to be done. So definitely stay tuned for news on our conspiracy thing. Again, I should have product tomorrow, so we'll either be live Thursday or Friday.
And we'll be posting on the
social.
And we'll be posting on the social medias, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, and possibly on our webpage as well, about the time exactly we're going to be doing that, and when you guys should tune in and watch.
Yeah.
As always, we're going to be focusing on streaming a lot more recently. Since we're going to be going to more events, we'll have more product to talk about, more to discuss. And we always like to hear back from you guys and what you guys want us to talk about, topics you guys want us to talk about, and have a nice discussion about kind of where Magic is going right now, where Standard is going, where Modern is going. We talked about Legacy and Vintage just kind of taking a back burner. But what are your opinions on that format as well? So always message us, talk to us. We like to hear y'all's opinions.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's signature meow. Always have to have it. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's podcast. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We appreciate the support, and we hope to see you guys again very soon.